Well, good morning, ceramic students. Welcome to week 5 of eCERAMICS. So I wanted to walk you through the agenda for the week and the expectations for the assignment for this week. So let's start with the slideshow, and we click on this to expand it. So I want you to look at all the slides and photographs of student Pixar characters in the eGallery Google Slideshow. Read all the comments and suggestions that have been provided, and be sure to be prepared to show and explain how you have altered your sculpture related to the suggestions. So the goal is that you will actually create or modify your sculpture based on the suggestions that have been made, comments that have been made. And here's a link to that Google slideshow. So if you click on that, it takes you to the eGallery slideshow. And if we click over here, so there's different suggestions here. I love the arms and the details and the lines that you scratched into it. I love how you made the legs of the spider creature. They are so well shaped and perfectly detailed. Also love the hat. So lots of very wonderful and supportive compliments and suggestions. My suggestion that I didn't actually type in here, but I will, would be to maybe create like a little counterpart, if you will, kind of a, like Snoopy has Woodstock as his sidekick. So maybe a sidekick, like a smaller spider that walks around on the chest on this spider web that's on the chest of the spider, and periodically maybe goes up and whispers to this guy to help him make decisions or whatever. So, like a little sidekick would be kind of cute for this guy. So, that would be a comment that I would make for that. If we look at this slide, and you look at the comment that I made here, you can see that not much to embellish here, but I do have a few suggestions. Maybe you could add necklaces, fingernails, toenails, bracelets. Even monsters like to accessorize. Okay. So that was the comment that I had made for Callie. So I have made comments for every single person and every single slide that has been shared. Okay. So that is that piece of it. Then if we go back here and we increase the size of this again. So Unit 3, Assignment number 7, Pixar character revisions based on comments. And so this week we're finishing our sculpture, finally finishing the sculpture. Take 3 pictures of your final sculpture and add them to the eGallery Google slideshow. Create a new slide with your final sculpture pictures. Okay. So you need to take 3 pictures and add them to the new slide in the same Google slideshow. So keep the old ones, keep the old photographs, and put the new ones in there. And that way we'll be able to see what modifications you've made and how you've improved your sculpture based on the comments. So this week you will be finishing up your sculpture, spend about 1 to 1.5 hours adding final details such as expressions, textures, fine tuning, and paying attention to details, removing any unwanted blemishes. Finishing touches. If your sculpture does not have an opening somewhere to allow the air from the inside to escape, you should stab a small toothpick hole somewhere to allow the air to escape. Check to make sure that there are no areas of clay that are thicker than your thumb. Clay thicker than your thumb must be poked or hollowed out. Make sure that all clay additions have been scored, slipped, and sealed to prevent breaking and details falling off. Check to make sure that there are no sharp edges on the bottom or sides of the sculpture. And if your sculpture has a hard time balancing, I would suggest that you create a base and then secure your sculpture to that base, meaning score, slip, and seal that sculpture to the base so that it's basically attached to the base so it doesn't fall over anymore. Because the sculpture, once it falls over, especially after it's been cooked in the kiln, becomes pretty fragile and brittle. And if it falls over, it's just going to break. And then you have to glue it or throw it out, one or the other. Um, so if you are displaying your sculpture in a unique way, like hanging it on a wall or dangling it from the ceiling, I would make sure that you have poked holes so that you can hang it with string or wire after it's been fired. So just need to kind of think ahead of time, almost like playing chess. You kind of have to, think ahead. What are the needs of your sculpture, and then take that into account right now while you still can. So the reminder here this week is that we are making changes to our artworks that are a direct result or reaction to comments or suggestions that were given by our peers or by Johnny O. And this is kind of like editing a rough draft in an English writing paper, an English essay. Your first draft and your second draft are kind of, you know, lots of marks, lots of grammar corrections and spelling corrections and word selections and things like that, and working on flow. And then you make your final edits and you type up your revised final paper and you submit that. And in this case, I want you to turn in your final revised, improved upon sculpture. And then the launch again for this week is a fifth story time, and this will again be posted by Friday morning. Last week, I just kind of posted a children's book being read by a child, and I thought that was kind of cute and fun. And it was Wacky Wednesday by Dr. Seuss, and this week I will try to read to you. So let's escape out of here. And we're just about done, wrapped up here. But I did want to quickly go to the actual folder here and show you assignment number 7 and everything that was basically in the agenda slide has been copy and pasted here. And so you are not to submit photographs to this assignment straight away. You are to submit them to the Google eGallery slideshow, and that is how you will get credit for your final sculpture and taking those photographs and sharing them with your peers again. That way, we can do a final critique and a reflection next week, and then we'll be finally done with Unit 3. All right. As always, I hope that you are happy, healthy, and safe, and be blessed.